Hi everyone, I'm Rosie Gratwick. I am the charity manager for the Trust's official charity, Sussex Community NHS Charity, and I'm here to talk a bit today about who the charity are and what we do and how you can support us. So, we're here to help Sussex Community NHS Foundation Trust to provide excellent care at the heart of the community, and we do that by funding projects that go above and beyond what NHS core funding can provide. So our purpose is to support the work of the Trust and its people to deliver the Trust's vision of excellent care at the heart of the community. And as a charity, we will also operate in line with the Trust's values of compassion, collaboration, ambition and excellence. So what do we do as a charity? So we raise money to fund projects which support the Trust to achieve its aims. We do that by prioritising funding to support the Trust's ambitions, improving the health and care outcomes of communities all the way across Sussex, working with our partner organisations wherever appropriate. We improve the physical environment for the benefit of our patients, staff and volunteers. We encourage a continuous improvement culture, supporting Trust staff to develop projects and funding research which improve patient care. We support wellbeing initiatives for staff at local and Trust-wide levels, and we also fund the staff awards and other ways of recognising and thanking our teams. And we support staff and volunteers to develop their skills and help the Trust to shape rewarding careers. So how do we spend the funds? So there are a few different ways that we identify projects to support with charitable funding. So firstly, we do invite staff to apply for charity grants to bring their ideas to fruition. We also work with teams to discuss their service needs and help them to identify solutions and develop projects that we can then support with funding. And we also develop our own projects and deliver those which fulfil our charitable aims and aim to support the Trust in achieving its aims. So we'll start with some examples of projects that we funded which supported staff wellbeing. So we sent out thousands of staff thank you bags to all of our staff and volunteers back in 2020. We funded lots of team water coolers, which were very popular during the summer. We funded a lot of standing desks to help with staff wellbeing and physical health. We funded a staff massage chair, which is based in Dyke Building at Brighton General Hospital, and all staff at that base have access to go and use that chair to help them relax during a busy shift. We also funded badges which aided communication for people who were particularly impacted by the use of face masks during the pandemic. And we've also funded a lot of staff room furniture and just overall staff room renovations to improve staff wellbeing and give staff a really peaceful, nice, inviting place to go on their lunch breaks. So a couple of projects to focus on here. So Project Wingman. So we funded the Project Wingman bus to spend a week at 2 of our Trust sites. So it's been a week at Horsham Hospital and a week at Bognor Regis War Memorial Hospital. And we chose those sites because they didn't have brilliant access to a staff wellbeing rest space during the pandemic. Some of the spaces that were there were reused for other things. So those staff really didn't have a great place to go that was inviting. So we sent the bus there. The bus had lots of complimentary refreshments, lots of comfortable seating, and it also came with a Project Wingman volunteers, which chatted to our staff and made them feel really welcome. We also funded mental health first aid lanyards. So that helped our staff to better identify who the mental health first aiders were across the Trust when they needed support. We also funded equine therapy courses for our patients. So that was particularly for the homeless service. We also funded medical timers for patients, so that really helped to avoid patients missing medications when staff were really busy on wards during the COVID-19 pandemic. We also funded talking tools for our patients who had been impacted by the virus and their ability to communicate and talk. We've also funded discharge care packages, which are currently going out from Lewis Hospital. That's a project led by the volunteer team. And that's just to provide patients that are leaving hospitals with a few essentials to take home with them to better ease their transition home. We also funded plants for patient homes to bring a little bit of life into their homes, and we've since been also funding plants across our services and teams as well. And there's a nice photo at the bottom there of ice creams that we funded at Bognor Regis War Memorial Hospital for patients during a very, very hot week. And a couple of more projects here that were patient focused. So the Living Well programme, group sessions were unable to take place during the pandemic. So we funded 12 laptops to enable the Living Well programme volunteer tutors to be able to deliver the courses online. So they were able to continue, which was brilliant. And we've also funded Makaton training for a number of our services. So we started off with the special care dental services team, and it worked so well that we then rolled out the training to more services so that they could better communicate with child patients and their parents and guardians. So how do we raise funds? So we're able to make grants to the trust thanks to the generous donations that are made by the public. So a few different ways that we receive donations. So individual donations, community fundraising activities. So that's from people out in the community, businesses, groups, individuals hosting their own fundraising activities to raise money for the charity. Our own staff fundraising for us, and I've got some examples to share with you in a moment. Challenge events. So at the moment we have a big portfolio of different challenge events that people can get involved in to generate sponsorship and raise money for us, and also raise awareness of the charity in the process. So we have a number of places in the Brighton Half Marathon next year, for example, that we're hoping to fill so that we can raise vital funds for the charity. We also raise money through trusts and foundations, so particularly NHS Charities Together. So you may remember the big Tom Moore campaign that raised hundreds of millions of pounds during the pandemic. That was all raised for NHS Charities Together, and they then distributed that money via grants to all NHS charities across the country. So we were very lucky to receive some funding there. And we did use those grants to fund projects that were brought forward by staff. We also receive income through legacies, in-memory giving and fundraising, and also a little bit through trade as well. So just a note to say that if a patient or their loved one does offer a donation, or if anyone comes to you and said that they would like to support the charity in some way or give back to a service that's provided excellent care for them or their loved one, then please do point them towards the charity so that we can make sure we give them the best support and get their donation to exactly the right place. So some examples of some of our staff putting the fun into fundraising. So our Chief of Digital led a team in the Brighton Half Marathon back in 2021, which was brilliant. We also had a singing duo host a street concert to raise funds during lockdown. The information governance team came together virtually to complete a trek, and they've completed that now and raised a brilliant figure for both us and for Chestnut Treehouse Charity. And finally, our dementia lead, Fran, ran the Brighton Half Marathon in the February just gone to raise funds for the charity. That was brilliant. So how can you help? So you could host your own fundraiser, and we've got a fundraising guide and full toolkit on our website that you can use to get some ideas, but also always feel free to get in contact with us if you've got any ideas you'd like to share or would like some help coming up with something. You can get involved with a campaign that we already have ongoing. So for example, at the moment we are planning to celebrate the NHS Big T, which is a national campaign celebrating the NHS birthday, and we are encouraging businesses and individuals across Sussex's community to get involved with that and host a tea party to fundraise for our charity. You can become a regular donor, so setting up a donation of your choice to come to us weekly or monthly or yearly. You can join our team in a sponsored walk, run or other event. So I mentioned those challenge events earlier. And you could also host a collection tin at your site if you're a business owner, or you could also ask your local shops and cafes and things like that, if they don't have a collection tin already, if they might like to support us by having one. And if that is the case, do get in touch with us and we're happy to arrange something like that. You can become a charity ambassador. So that means that you would be out in the community representing our charity. So we would give you all the tools that you need to know everything there is to know about the charity and all the different ways that the public can support us. You could volunteer at an event. So occasionally we do host activities where we need some volunteer support. One of those is we have a cheer point at Brighton Half Marathon along the race course. And it's always great to have as many volunteers there as possible to really make some noise for our runners and also raise awareness for the charity in the process. You can give as you shop. So there are 2 platforms at the moment that we promote for that. So there's Easy Fundraising, which is a really quick way that you can make frictionless free donations essentially to the charity just by making your normal purchases. So you sign up for free to Easy Fundraising, and you can also sign up for free to Amazon Smile as well. And that means that when you make purchases via the website, then we will get a little bit of commission on those. And finally, you can donate gifts or services in kind. So they're a really great way to actually save the charity money. And often it also gives an opportunity for us to do a bit of staff wellbeing boosting, or it might be that we can use the items as prizes for fundraising activities as well. So there are some signposts to further information. So there's our website link there. Please do visit and learn a bit more about the charity. If you're staff-based, then there's the link to visit the information about the charity on the Pulse. There's also our team telephone number and our team email address. So if you do have any questions at all, do feel free to get in contact with us and we will be more than happy to help. And there's also our social media tags there. And please do follow us if you're on any of those platforms. We share lots of information about projects that we've recently funded with some good news stories, and also all the different fundraising activities that we've got coming up and different ways that you can get involved. So thank you very much for listening. And if you do have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thanks very much.